Hello and welcome. Welcome to another class of Alpine Yoga Vibes. I am Kendra. Today basically we're going to be going over a cervical neck shoulder stretch. So if you have any cervical neck issues, degeneration, herniated or bulging discs, or really tight shoulders or chest, this is going to be perfect for you. So just make sure you're up against a wall. Come to find your seated position, so anything that's comfortable to you. Sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes and just focus on your breath. Big, deep inhales through the nose. Long, audible exhales through the mouth. We're letting the stress all come out. Again. If you want any music, now is the time to turn it on. I try and keep it quiet so that way you can hear me and only me. So coming up next to the wall, bringing your mat over here. And just finding your nice seated position up against the wall, flat back. You're not leaning your head down, your chin isn't tucked, it's just nice and flat. Take some deep breaths and see how it feels being up against the wall. Maybe see if you can roll your shoulders back to meet the wall. Little yes, no shake of the head. Little roll back and forth, one ear to the other. Just moving intuitively at the moment, seeing what feels good, seeing what needs a stretch, seeing what's tight, what's not. So sitting up nice and tall against that wall. Trying to think of how to show this best to you. So you're going to take your arm out against the wall, facing the wall, and you're just going to turn away from that. Let me show you this way. So your right arm comes out to a T, you're up against the wall. You're just going to start turning your knees towards the left, however far it can go. If this hurts your knees, you do have the option of doing this on the floor. You just bring that right arm up to a T and roll over onto that arm. I know this gives my neck a little crick because you're having to go like that and rest it on the ground. So that's why I like doing it on the wall. So again, just sitting here, maybe you use that left hand to kind of give you a little stability up against the wall. Make sure your butt's not sticking out, your hips are tucked in, your neck is held high, you're not leaning forward like I was just doing. Deep breaths, make sure nothing is pinching, pulling, or too tight to where you're losing your breath. Go ahead and release. Come to sit down. Either knees or on your booty again. Cactus your arms out here. Try not to do what I was just doing and letting your belly come out. You want to suck your belly in. Press that lower back to the wall. On inhale, raise the arms. On an exhale, lower to that cactus. Just flow here for a little bit. Your inhale's up, your exhale's down. Trying to go slow and keep everything up against the wall. Going slow, remembering that we're doing this as a recovery to protect our neck and shoulders. Go ahead and let them come down, shake out those hands, maybe roll your neck. We're gonna come to the other side, so that chest stretch on the left side. So your left arm comes out to a T. Start to turn those knees towards the right. Keep yourself as close to the wall as you can. Maybe give yourself some stability with that right hand. Again, if it's too intense, don't stretch that far. Each side is different, so be mindful. Breathing deep in any of those uncomfortable spots. And inhale, release that arm. Exhale, come back to sit and come back to that cactus arm. And making sure that your lower back is pressing towards the wall. It might not touch and that's okay, but as long as you're not bringing your belly out, you want it sucked in and up. Pressing your spine towards the wall. So either sit here for a moment, or if it felt good to do the movement, go ahead and move your arms, move those shoulders. It's all up to you. You need to listen to your body and figure out what you need. Does it need movement or do you need stillness? Release, let those lower. Keep hitting my blocks, so I'm going to move them out of the way. So back to the wall with our arms. So this is how we cactus, and this is an upside down or reverse cactus. We're going to take our left hand first. Bring it to that T like we did in the beginning. Take your knees to the right. You're going to bring your palm out towards away from the wall. Bend that elbow. You're in a reverse cactus. It's gonna feel weird. It does not feel right, and it does not feel like that's where your arm and hand should be, but it is very good stretch and pull for that front shoulder. Front of the shoulder. Remember keeping your neck up. Big deep breaths. Go ahead and lower when you're ready. Slowly lowering. Big stretch, you don't want to hurt yourself coming out. Do a couple of rolls, neck rolls, reset yourself a little bit. We're coming back to the other side. So, right arm comes out to that T. Flip the palm so it's facing away from the wall. Start to turn yourself towards the left, any amount. Bend that elbow down. Try and relax your shoulders so they're coming back and you're not scrunched up towards your ears. Remember to smile. And you're ready, go ahead and turn back towards the wall. Let that arm go. Give her a little shake out. Again, roll the shoulders, roll the neck. Anything that you need to do to kind of reset. Cat-cows seated. Coming back to the wall. So we're doing an overhead stretch now. So taking our arm up the wall long, palm facing the wall. And just get as close to the wall as you possibly can. And if it's a little not intense there, you can always step yourself away from the wall and then lean into that shoulder. But you don't want to put all your weight. You still want most of the weight on your knees. Go ahead and come as close as you can to that wall. Bend your elbow, back of the hand comes to the back of your neck. The front of the hand comes to the back of your neck. Apologize. Again, trying not to tilt one way or lean the other way. Using that elbow as a kickstand to push yourself away from the wall. Slowly release your neck, bring your arm back up the wall. Take a few baby steps away from the wall. Release that arm. Again, go ahead and roll those shoulders. A little yes, no with your neck and head. Switching around, coming to the right side. So getting as close to that wall as you can. Taking that right arm up, palm faces the wall. And again, figure out where your stretch is. You might have to lean into the wall a little bit, or being just straight up against the wall might be your stretch. Everybody's different, and each side is different, so be mindful. Give yourself a little grace. When you're ready, go ahead and bend that elbow, bring the palm of your hand to the back of your neck. Really get as close to that wall as you can. Remembering, if this is hard on your knees, you can always put something underneath your knees, a pillow, a blanket, your mat rolled up once or twice. It's up to you. Get creative. You have things around you, whether you have actual yoga props or just stuff laying around your house. Again, pillows, blankets. Inhale, raise that arm back up overhead. Slowly walk yourself away from the wall. Bring that arm down. Go ahead and give him a little shake. Ugh. I'm going to show you on this wall now. You have options here to do this on the floor with your blocks, a wall, or a chair. I will show you with the wall first. I do not have a chair, but you'll get the idea. So, I'm going to put my hands right here. I'm going to take my arm, or my head through my arms. And I'm just going to stretch right here. Again, you can do this up on your knees. You could do this on a chair. Your elbows would go on the chair. You can do this on your mat. Like that. blocks that are stacked. Bring your elbows to them and drop your head through those elbows. And that is what you would do if you were on a chair as well. So, going back to the wall though, and doing that towards the wall, just my hands out long. And I'm gonna press myself a little bit further down here, give myself a better stretch. Again, remembering to be mindful, because if you're stretching too hard this way, you can definitely hurt yourself. And you can make your injury worse if you're trying to help an injury here. When you're ready to come back out, go ahead and slowly lift yourself up. Untuck the feet if they're there. Go ahead and bring yourself back down to a seated position. Should be in an easy seat pose, so one leg right in front of the other. Doesn't matter which one. I like my left in the front because that one needs the most stretch. This one doesn't go down as far as this one. So a lateral side stretch overhead. So a lot of times you see instructors put their hand down on the mat and stretch over towards the wall. Not quite doing that this time. Taking our left arm out to the wall. We're going to lean over, press the right hand in, and push that wall away with that right hand. If it's not okay with this left hand, place it on the ground. You just want to make sure that you're rolling open. You're not leaning forward into your chest. You want your chest to be open. Nice big heart opener here. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, I'm going to switch sides. So I'm going to come over here backwards. My right hand over, left hand up. Really feeling it in this left shoulder, front of the shoulder. Try and keep that top arm as straight as possible. Go ahead and bring it back down. Some good stretches. Last wall stretch. This one's pretty intense. I can't do it for very long, so bear with me. So coming over to where your back is facing the wall. Your hands are going to go behind you, palms facing up. Again, this is a pretty intense one. Push yourself away from the wall any, that feels good. If this is way too intense for you, which it is for me, modifying it, bringing your hands to the ground, pressing your chest away, not letting your head drop, because that is not good for your neck. Try and keep that chin tucked and neck long. You don't want your chin tucked like this, just bringing it back and into a neutral neck. Bring yourself forward. Come onto your tabletop. Get yourself set up so wrists, elbows, shoulders in line. Right underneath your shoulders. They shouldn't be out like this. Shouldn't be closer to your knees.
Make sure they're right underneath your shoulders. Your legs, hips and knees should be in line, knees at a 90-degree angle. Your toes can be flexed or pointed, just as long as you don't see them. They're not pigeon-toeing, and they're straight in line with your legs. So just feeling nice and strong here. Your core is engaged, lifted in and up. You're pressing the mat away with both your knees and your hands. Nice and strong here. Inhale, raise your head, raise your tailbone. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Inhale, raise the head, raise the tailbone. Exhale, tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis. Cat-cow flow. Your flows. Inhales coming up. Your exhales rounding. Don't watch me, listen to your body. Making these as big or as little as they need to be. The bigger and slower you go, the more stretch you feel. Coming back to neutral, place the left hand in front of you. Right hand comes right up. And set that hand down, replacing the left hand. Lift that left arm up. Bring that arm down, replace the left hand, bring the right hand up. Exhale, start to bring the arm down, round the elbow, tuck it underneath of you, and lay that shoulder down on the ground. Making sure your hips are leaning over one way or the other. They are nice and straight and even. Top hand can either stay right here by your face. You can come up overhead nice and long, or you can either reach it around the back of your body towards the opposite hip. Trying to press your chest open. When you're ready, untucking that back hand, placing it dead center, lift that right arm up, place it down. Replace that left hand, and bring that left arm up. Go ahead and start to round that elbow, tucking it through underneath of you. Lay that shoulder down. Remember, you have options with that top hand. If you're reaching for the opposite hip, it'll look something like this. It's okay if you're only right here, here. It's up to you. Make sure you're keeping that chest open. Not letting that top shoulder round in. Slowly unwind that right arm. Place it back down right in the center. Lift that left arm. Go ahead and set it back down. Let the toes kiss. Bring the knees wide and sink down. Small little child's pose here, or quick child's pose here, I should say. Forehead to the ground. Your arms are out long. Bring your hands by your sides, press yourself up. Coming into your comfortable seated position. Taking the hands behind us and clasping our hands. Straightening the elbows. So now you can look like this. Make sure that you're not rounding. Your back is nice and straight. If that's not a good enough stretch, you can always reach for opposite elbows. Again, making sure you're not rounding in. Keeping that flat back and nice and tall. And again, if you're super flexible and this just isn't providing enough, you can take it to that next step. And reach for the palms. Again, if you're doing this while you're here, you're not in the proper pose and you need to back out. You need to be able to keep your shoulders straight and up, your chest open, heart open, and your head and chin pointing towards the sky. I encourage you to try all of them or go for all of them. It's okay if you can't stay there. I can't either. Release. We will come to lay down on our mats. Knees stay bent. Bringing the right leg in. Lower that left leg or straighten it any that you can. That right knee in. Set it down. Bring it back in. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, bring it back in. Give it a squeeze. Little flow here. Your inhale squeezing it. Your exhale's lowering it. Can be, again, as big or as little a movement, as slow or as fast as you want. Set that right foot down. Take that right leg out long. Bending the left knee and bringing that left knee into the chest. Give it a good squeeze. Remembering if that right knee needs to be bent, leave her there. No judgments. Inhale, squeeze the left knee. Exhale, set it down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. Your breath. Inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. When you're ready, set it back down. Give yourself a little shake, a little move, maybe tilt of the pelvis back and forth. When you're ready, coming into your Shavasana. Arms and legs come out long, palms facing up, toes and feet are splayed open towards the corners of the mat. Stay here for as long as you like. When you're ready to come up though, roll to your right side, cradle your arm or cradle your head with your arm for a moment. Press yourself back up and come to a seated position. If you're still in Shavasana, stay there, enjoy it. If not, get up and go for the rest of your day. Hope you have a wonderful day.